Hey, what's up, you guys? David here, and today I am back with another CD collection update. It has been quite a few weeks since my last video, but I am back now. So, if you guys are ready, let's go ahead and get started. First up, we have Haunt with Burst into Flame. This is released from this year. This is out on Shadow Kingdom Records. And Haunt is basically just a traditional heavy metal band, and definitely one that has been getting a lot of eyes and attention on them, especially ever since their 2017 EP, Luminous Eyes, which is how I discovered this band. I think after I heard Scourge of Vinyl talk about them on one of his videos, I decided to go check them out with that EP. And I was very, very impressed with what I heard. And basically, Burst into Flame takes the material from that and basically just, improves on it, and just makes everything sound even better than before. And from what I understand, this was a one-man project from this guy named Trevor Church, and I believe now he's actually got a full-time band, or a full lineup now, from what I understand. But yeah, very, very good songs on here. I think what I really enjoy the most about this is just the guitar work on here. The guitar work is absolutely phenomenal. I love the guitar melodies, harmonies, and just the very well played, catchy, constructed solos going on. And that's not to say the riffs aren't great as well, but yeah, it's mainly within just the guitar harmonies, and the soloing is really where this album shines for me. But if I had to make one complaint with it, the vocalist, which I believe Trevor Church is the vocalist and guitarist. I could be completely wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure he is. But yeah, just his vocals, just when it comes to this, the traditional heavy metal stuff, I usually prefer to have a vocalist that's got a bit more of a range. And this guy doesn't really have a huge range. Like, his voice is fine for the music, it fits and everything, but yeah, I just usually prefer to have a vocalist with a bit more range for this particular style. But yeah, this is a great album nonetheless. It is still one of my favorites of this year for sure, and you are going to be hearing a lot about these guys because this is already getting a ton of praise. You can find all kinds of metal sites and everything talking about it, and for good reason. It's a very, very solid heavy metal release from Haunt. So that is Haunt with Burst into Flame. Next up, we go to Control Denied with The Fragile Art of Existence. This is the project that Chuck, Steve DiGiorgio, Shannon, and Richard Christie formed after Death was no longer a band. And this was the last project that Chuck was in before he died in 2001. And this is just a very solid, heavy, progressive metal album. Just Steve DiGiorgio's bass playing on this is just absolutely phenomenal. Of course, Chuck's guitar work is great as always, and whoever this singer is that they got to do the vocals on this, he is just incredible. He's got a very, very good range, a very powerful, and just really just one of those voices that you just instantly click with, when you hear it. He just fits this music very, very well. The performance from every single member on this is absolutely top-notch. Just great musicianship, great songwriting, love the riffs, the solos, just, yeah, everything. Very, very similar to the last Death album, The Sound of Perseverance, overall, in terms of just the production quality and the kind of overall sound. Just, it's without the harsh vocals. And although I prefer the bass playing on here because, it is Steve DiGiorgio. He's one of my all-time favorite bass players. And, yeah, great album. It is very unfortunate that we'll probably never get to hear the second album that never got completed. But, yeah, if you're a fan of of Death and Chuck's music overall, and you haven't heard Control Denied, but I'm sure most of you probably have by now. Most people do know this. But if you haven't, for whatever reason, check it out. Very, very good shit. Control Denied, The Fragile Art of Existence. Next up, we go to Acid Witch with Midnight Movies. This is an EP that contains 4 tracks, and this is the last CD that I got to for my Acid Witch, collection, because unfortunately the splits and the other EPs are not available on CD. They're vinyl and tape only, as far as I know. But Midnight Movies is basically, like I said, 4 tracks of just covers from 4 different 80s horror films. And as I've talked about, I love horror films. I'm I'm a very big horror fan, especially old school horror from like the 80s and everything. And so yeah, you got the tracks I'm Back, which is from the movie Rocktober Blood, which I still have yet to watch. And I've actually got it right here. I need to watch that at some point. But yeah, I ended up buying this movie for a very cheap price, just because I was interested in seeing it after listening to the song and everything. So yeah, you got that, and After Midnight from the movie Trick or Treat from 1986. Yeah, I was about to go and explain details of the movie, but obviously if you haven't seen it, that's not going to do you any good. So yeah, that's from the movie Trick or Treat. Some of you may have seen it, some of you maybe not. If you have not seen it and you do enjoy 80s horror films, definitely go check that out. Next up is Soldiers of the Night. That is from the movie Black Roses from 1988, which I also have here. And this one I have seen, and it is definitely 80s, cheesy 80s horror entertainment at its finest. And it's a little too stupid and silly at some points, but it is a fun watch. Not as good as, say, the movie Trick or Treat. But yeah, it's a pretty fun movie to watch, though. I would recommend it. And the last one you got is Party Time from the band 45 Grave from the movie The Return of the Living Dead, which probably one of my all-time favorite zombie flicks. Return of the Living Dead I've always gravitated more towards as opposed to the Romero films, like Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead. Return of the Living Dead is just, I felt was just, I don't know, just more of a fun kind of film, and just more unique, I guess you could say, with just how they did zombies. But anyway, getting off track here. The music. Yeah, all covers are played very, very well, and yeah, this is just a really, really fun listen. Yeah, just a fun listen for these 4 tracks on here. So yeah, if you enjoy these movies and you want to hear Acid Witch cover these songs, yeah, check it out. Acid Witch Midnight Movies. Next up, we go to Coffins with The Other Side of Blasphemy. This was released in 2006. And this particular version is on $20 spin, but I believe this was a really... I thought this was originally out on Osmos Productions, but yeah, I'm not sure. But it does, as you can see, it does say $20 spin. So this particular version is $20 spin. Anyway, it's business as usual for Coffins, just heavy as fuck, crushing death doom, with the more mid-paced, punky moments here and there. Just, what more can I say? It's Coffins. I've talked about them so many times now, and this isn't, and I'm about to talk about them again in a second when I show the next CD, because I just completed my Coffins collection on CD, which I'm very happy about. So, yeah, second album, just as good as everything else. Well, not as good as Buried Death. That is their masterpiece, in my opinion. Their absolute best. But, yeah, if you're looking for just some heavy fucking riffs to just pound you over the skull, that's Coffins for you. So yeah, Coffins, The Other Side of Blasphemy. And next up, we go to their first full-length, Mortuary Darkness. And this is released on... Oh, this is released on Osmos Productions. I think originally this is on Razorback Recordings. But this is probably their most doomy and probably their most raw. But don't let that scare you off. I mean, it's not like super, super raw. We're not talking like raw black metal raw or anything. But yeah, it's pretty much just, the same style that Coffins for. Like I said, just a bit more doomy. There's most of the songs on here are a lot more slower. compared to the other albums that have some mid-pace stuff and that kind of thing. But yeah, fucking phenomenal debut from Coffins. Mortuary Darkness. Next up, we go to Dragon Guardian with Dragonvarius. This is released in 2009. I have no fucking idea what label this came on because, you know, it's a Japanese release, so I can't really read any of this shit. But excuse me. I showed Dragon Guardian on here before. I showed their album Sekmen Valkyrius. I think that's how you pronounce that. This is their third full length, and probably just as good. Probably just as good as you know, that other CD that I showed by them in my last video. Just what they do with the power metal genre is just incredible, and just they really do it like nobody else, in my opinion. Even though I'm sure a lot of people would compare these guys to, you know, Dragon Force, and as I've said before, they're basically like the weeaboo version of Rhapsody of Fire. But yeah, it's just excellent symphonic power metal, very catchy songs, awesome melodies. Fuki's vocals, oh my god, she's amazing. What more do I need to say? I've talked about her already. You know, of course, there's an Unlucky Morpheus album coming out this year, or actually next month, and I cannot wait for that. But I love everything that Fuki does. She's just a phenomenal vocalist. And Arthur Brave, of course, his guitar work is great. Love his riffs, love his solos. And of course, you know, like I said, a lot of people are going to be turned off by like the anime style narration that's in between the songs. But if you can get past that, there's just some excellent power metal to be had on this. So yeah, if you have any curiosity whatsoever about what Japanese power metal is like, definitely give Dragon Guardian a listen. But it's definitely not going to be for everybody. So yeah, Dragon Guardian, Dragonvarius. And the last one I have to talk about here, we go to Evoken, Embrace the Emptiness. This is their first full length. This is released on Elegy Records, a label I'm not really familiar with, but yeah. Their debut full length, released in 1998. Evoken is probably my favorite doom metal band of all time, regardless of the subgenres of doom, whether it's death doom, funeral doom. Because these guys are considered one of the first funeral doom bands, along with Skepticism and Thorgothren. I can't remember how you pronounce that other band's name, but yeah, along with those, Evoken is considered one of the first in the funeral doom genre. But regardless of what subcategory of doom you would put them in, they are my all-time favorite doom metal band, and Embrace the Emptiness is my all-time favorite doom metal album, no question. And the reason why I think they do doom metal better than anyone else is just everything about them, really. To me, Evoken just embodies everything that doom metal should be. Heavy as fuck, dark, and just absolutely drenched in dark, but at the same time just twisted and nightmarish, beautiful atmosphere. When it comes to atmosphere, Evoken pulls it off just effortlessly. It is just absolutely phenomenal, the transitions that these guys do, and the drumming is also really a standout, because this guy really makes sure that his drumming is catchy and memorable, which, with the glacial pace that funeral doom usually is, it's very, very challenging and very difficult to do, and this guy just pulls it off like it's nothing. And of course, you know, you got the crushing riffs and the mournful kind of clean vocals and chants, and a lot mixed with just the deep, evil sounding growls that this guy does. Unfortunately, as much as big a fan I am of Evoken, I don't know the names of any of the members or anything, but yeah, I feel kind of dumb for that. But also, sorry, my voice is cracking quite a bit. But yeah, just like I said, Evoken, they do metal like no other. I think they are probably the best at it. You know, I've got my other favorites as well. I love Pallbearer. I love Esoteric, you know, Candlemass, bands like that. But yeah, when it comes to Doom, Evoken, they're at the top for me. And this is just a perfect Doom metal album. Definitely one of my favorite albums of all time. If I was just to do my favorite albums, however many that would be, because it would be a shit ton, I'll tell you that. But just however many in general, this would be on that list, without a doubt. So yeah, if you're looking for the best in Doom metal and you don't know who Evoken is, definitely check this shit out. Evoken, embrace the emptiness. And yeah, a bit of a shorter video than usual, but some of you may actually, you know, prefer that. Maybe thought my videos were a little too long before. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed what you saw. Thank you for liking, subscribing, commenting, all that good shit. And I will see you guys in the next video. You guys take it easy.